$10 on the Bills game.
Yesterday, did you bet on just them winning, like, overall?
I had a 50% profit boost.
They did one of those. Yeah, it is the first week. They're probably going to do a lot of those.
I fucking love DraftKings, dog. Right now they're doing up to $10, no sweat. Bet on any touchdown score.
Okay.
So you bet on one person to make a touchdown at any point during the game.
I got to get back into
no
it.
Sweat. Dude, it's football season, the money season.
Dude, what the absolute fuck, man? Well, thank you, Commanders defense, for going negative for my opposing team. So right now, I'm currently losing by 14 points. Yeah, a little under 14 points, and I still have Brandon Hall for the Jets in. What's the do you know the like time right now for like the game? Because we're recording during it.
Checking right now, it's still open, so I'm assuming the game.
I know it's the third, but I don't know. It's probably towards the end.
It's actually it just turned the fourth. It looks like it just turned the fourth quarter.
Okay. What's the score?
It is right now 13-26.
Yeah, I'm probably screwed because there's no way unless they hit a long ball and then they just run it in or whatever, they're not going to be using Brandon Hall for the rest of the game.
Originally, I had done a $10 no sweat on Christian McCaffrey scoring a touchdown. Obviously, he's the quarterback. It's going to happen. At least, you hope, at least once during the game. But then I got a notification that bet was voided, and then I looked it up, and apparently he was out right before the game with a surprise injury.
You want to know what that reminds me of? Have you played fantasy in the past?
No, I actually don't do a whole lot with fantasy, I'll be honest. I mainly just do fucking simple bets.
So, back a long time, I'm gonna look it up exactly, but back, I'm gonna say around 2008 or 2009, it was early fantasy days. Basically, there was a game where, who was it? It was some quarterback. I forgot what quarterback on what team, but the quarterback had thrown a pass that was kind of argued during the time of the game of whether or not it was a pass or it was a handoff because of how close it was. And they had it as a pass to begin with, but then afterwards they changed it like 7 hours after or some shit like that, and then a bunch of people ended up losing because of it, and people started raging because they were like scores are final. I mean, but it was a very weird situation where it was just I honestly don't understand really going back and changing something as minuscule as I get it for stats for long term, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. Change it for the stats, but a bet's a bet at that point.
Yeah.
The bet's fulfilled once you give me my money. There ain't no fucking take back.
Speaking
if I bet you $5 that we're going to do a podcast tonight, we do a fucking podcast tonight.
Right.
Whether we fucking, it don't matter. Either way, $5 is $5.
Speaking of football, did you hear about the whole thing with Tyreek Hill before the game yesterday?
Dude, I actually watched the video before
I didn't get a chance to see it. How long is it?
It's not long. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I get he was under pressure to get there. But the cop knocked on his window, was trying to talk to him, and Tyreek Hill immediately was
to be fair, unless that officer is a complete dunce, he should know that he's on his way to the fucking stadium to play the game.
Just because you play in the NFL, does that mean that that excuses you from having to follow the fucking traffic laws?
Unfortunately, I would say yes, because it not only pertains to the sport, but it also pertains to millions or billions of dollars in betting and stuff like that can go against that. So it would fuck with a lot of fucking people.
It don't matter.
I don't know. I feel like the dude didn't have to grab him and pull him out though. No, you know what I mean?
I was getting there, motherfucker, dude, but you didn't let me finish.
Sorry.
Cut me off already, goddamn. No. What I'm saying is Tyreek Hill started that conversation off pretty rough, I'll say.
I mean, it wasn't that rough. I mean,
no, but he went off on the cop for knocking on his window, but to be fair, also the cop was a giant fucking dick and handled that situation.
What car was he driving, though?
Oh, it was expensive.
Also, let's talk about this. I thought athletes wouldn't drive themselves to the game. I thought they would have drivers and shit like that.
Dog, they're not presidents. I mean, fuck.
Bro, NBA players don't drive. They definitely I've seen them.
I'm sure they.
There's no way LeBron drives. I'm sorry.
No, No, I'm just saying, like, I'm sure some do. Like, I remember last year, dog, there was a giant snowstorm in Buffalo, and they showed a video of literally all the players, like, digging their cars out just so they could leave the stadium. Like, they're normal people to a degree, but that's why I say they definitely don't get.
Honestly,
Like,
I would say people from Buffalo, like the
Different
football
breed,
team,
but-
are more closer to normal people than any other, I would say,
Oh, yeah.
place.
Josh Allen, completely normal, just like you and me.
Bro, you want to know what's funny is Syracuse has been getting actually. This is kind of off topic. I don't know why this popped in my head. Well, it's because it's like a wing place, and I was thinking of Buffalo Wings for I don't know why. But they did like a viral TikTok or whatever where like they were like basically saying like they're the best wing stop in Syracuse. But the thing was like it was like a video of some old video of like a bird flying into an electric fucking wire.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
know which one you're talking about.
You see
'cause
that shit, dude?
I'm
That-
pretty sure I've seen
That
it.
is
Never,
genius marketing.
I had never heard of the place before ever.
Never heard of it, but I was like reading the comments and like one of the comments. Well, my wife was showing me, but it was like this video will be the reason I drive 3 hours to Syracuse. And I was like,
I wouldn't. I don't know. I'm driving 3 hours. I don't even want to drive an hour.
yeah. I mean, depending on the food place, like because there's really no.
I'm not going.
There's
there
no
just for
places that
food.
are within that distance that are worth going to and around our area. At least
Dog,
in my
if I
opinion.
can't find a place that's worth going, like every once in a while, there's that Ichiban place in Liverpool, that hibachi place.
Which the Kodo or the
No, it's Ichiban. It's on Old Liverpool Road.
Oh, Ichiban.
Yeah. My girlfriend really likes that place, so I take her there every once in a while. But like, it's typically like we're already gonna be in the area.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna drive just an hour to.
Is someone knocking? Okay, I was like, I didn't know, but
I'm getting
yeah.
used to my new setup, so I was like tapping on my desk.
So I thought would be interesting is to do, some questions to get, the viewers to get to know us a little better and stuff like that. So I went to our old buddy and got some stuff on here because the video that I posted for all you guys did not comment at all. So I gotta make do with what I got. All right. So the first thing I thought was actually an interesting one. What's your most embarrassing childhood memory? Or no, what's your most embarrassing memory that you can think of?
Most embarrassing.
And I already got mine in lock, and it's a doozy.
Really? That
So
fast? Huh?
when it comes to embarrassing, there's one thing that just shoots out in my head that like I will never get over.
Shit. No, I got it right here, dog. Locked in. That took me about 0.3 seconds.
All right, you want to go or you want me to go?
The trauma. I'll shoot first here.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I was in first grade, and I don't know if you remember this, but in at least my elementary school, the bathrooms were in the classroom.
Yeah.
Dog. So I was in there, and the teacher like just didn't know.
So
And she opened that shit, dog, in front of the whole class and everything, and I was like, "Bro, for real,
dude."
That made me want to fucking die. I just want you to know that. I still remember that bitch's name. I won't mention her, but I still remember that bitch's name 100%.
So mine's gonna be, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be more dramatic. It was sophomore year of high school. Sophomore year of high school, used to, from time to time, I used to have what people used to call booty calls, basically. So I'd have certain girls that I'd text from time to time, and we'd just hook up and stuff like that, and then I'd bounce afterwards. It was just kind of like our thing. Which is getting more and more frequent nowadays with how people are and stuff like that. But I was seeing this girl from time to time, but I kind of stopped for a while because like I was trying to look for something better or whatever, but not better as in persons. All right. I'm talking about like better as in like a relationship style. But it ended up after I got back from Lord's camp counseling, I decided to hang out with her because I was sexually frustrated being at a kid camp for fucking that long, for literally like a whole month and a half and stuff like that, not being able to leave and shit. And so I called her up and I was like, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" And so she was like, "Yeah, sure. I'm at my grandparents' house." I'm like, "Are they home?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay." So I go over to their house. So we get the business done, and we just get the business done, right? And I'm about to put my clothes on, right? Like we're laying underneath the blanket, right? And I have to close my eyes because I can vividly see this in my fucking head. I hear sound of a jangle around the door. Yep, sound of a jangle around the door. And I go, and my brain just went straight mute. I didn't know what to do. It was the first time that I was so flabbergasted where I didn't even know what I was gonna say. And so the person that walks in ends up being her grandfather, right? Also, I should say this first: the girl was black, so yes, the grandfather was black. Difference between a white grandfather and a black grandfather. We're gonna get that through this in a second, but he came in, right? And luckily she thought before I could think and pulled the blanket over us, right? And so all you could see was my head, right? All you could see was my head. And he was like, "What are you doing here?" And she was like, "Oh, he's just my friend. We're just hanging out." And he's like, "Okay." And he like walks past us and then into the kitchen in the next room, right? So I take that moment, like for the fucking Flash, to grab my clothes that are on the floor and try and put them on, right? I'm not the Flash. But hang on. No, he didn't. No, I think I covered them with the blanket or something. I can't remember. Or he might have just not been looking. I can't remember. But I tried to get my pants on and stuff, right? Barely had gotten my boxers on. And he comes back in the room. And I go, and I didn't know what to say. And then he goes, "Oh, so this is what you do when I'm not home? This is what you do?" And all I could say was, "I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir." And like just putting my stuff on and stuff like that. And then I'm shaking and stuff like that. And I'm walking to the door. I get to the door and the door's like locked. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to get shot. This is how my life ends right here for just something stupid. And so all of a sudden I just feel coming over my neck. And he's breathing down the back of my neck. And he's like, "You ever come back here, I'll fucking kill you." And like opens the door for me. And then I zoomed to my car, got in, swerved out like Fast and Furious, drove to McDonald's, ate my feelings for a half an hour, and then went and hung out with friends and smoked. But that was such a traumatic experience that I would never wish that on my worst enemy. It was just so bad.
Never had that. I was always
it's the worst thing you could think of. It's worse than having your parents walk in on you masturbating, to be completely honest. It's just, it's terrible. Because one, it's a stranger, and two, people are dangerous.
Oh yeah,
like we had a person that locked somebody in their basement in Fairmount, like for I forgot how long.
I'm trying to think because like when I was younger, I think we would either just sneak off into like the fucking some shit like that. Like we'd be mad discreet, but never in the house. Hell no, too risky. Fuck that.
So funny.
Until I got older, like high school, that was a little bit different.
Well, I did that once outside, but then I got made fun of because I did it on a rock. Well, it wasn't a rock. It was like overlay of a cave. Let's just say that.
Who cares? Why?
But I didn't initiate it. That's the only thing. So that was the first time I didn't initiate anything. And that was like the first time that I met that girl. And that happened a lot. You want to know what? That was like that was a frequent thing with girls back in high school. I don't know why.
I mean,
well, I guess, sexually active people
looking back on it, things were like, it was definitely easier to get temporary attention in that fashion, like in high school.
Right. That's
especially
true.
Like when I was like how I was kind of going about life, because I was kind of just doing my own thing from a very young age, and where I lived.
Did you always live here?
No. I was always. So I grew up in Phoenix. I lived there for basically all my life. And then when I was like 14, 15, I moved away. Like, didn't tell a fucking soul, dude. I just moved away to Oneida.
Like, did you, what age?
I was like 14, 15. I moved to Oneida. And I did that for a while. Things kind of went weird there. I moved back for a couple of months, and then I moved back to Oneida in with a group of friends. And then.
What do you mean weird?
There was, like, that was a rough fucking time.
Like family shit? Or are you talking about like no, actually like community?
More so like just me being off the rails and being young with limited supervision and just kind of fucking around and finding out,
That is true.
There was a lot of the shit you shouldn't do.
Well, See, what age? What was the age that you smoked first?
Oh, that was probably like 12 or 13. Like, but other shit.
See, I was a late bloomer, but now I'm
Really?
just a pothead. Yeah, I
I
did
remember
it
my first
my
time.
sophomore year. I held out freshman year. I was like noted. I was like no to drugs. Dare. Let's go. But that changed after a breakup my sophomore year,
See,
and I was like, fuck it, let's get high. And I tried it, and then I was like, tell me, because a lot of people say that they don't get high the first time. Bullshit. I got high. Like I don't know what they're not smoking right. Then that's what it was. They
no,
didn't inhale right
I
or
can
whatever.
corroborate that. I definitely did it. I remember my first time like it was yesterday. I had a crazy upbringing, so I started pretty young. But I went over to Devin's house. I know we keep bringing him up on every goddamn podcast, but me and that man literally traveled through the early years of our life together. I went over to his house, man, and we were chilling in his room. And he had like, you ever been in a house that has slanted ceilings on like the second level?
No, my grandparents were like on the first level. Like their house was weird, like it was slanted. But yeah,
So some houses, when they have a second level, and it's a smaller house, dude, like the bedrooms and rooms up top, instead of having a flat ceiling, they have a curved ceiling, like a triangle.
okay.
Anyway, his bedroom had that kind of ceiling, so it's fucking low. There's a point where it's low and then it hits a high point. Obviously.
No, I do have a friend that did have that. Yeah, because I remember. Well, it wasn't on the second floor; it was on the third floor. But yeah,
Yeah,
where it was like
same
slanted
deal.
like that.
Same deal. And we were chilling in that room, and we were like, I had brought some throwing knives over, and we were just fucking around, throwing them at the wall, whatever, like heathens. And I knew that he smoked whatever, and he was like, do you want to try it? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, let's do it. And he brought out, it was you know how like the plastic beer bongs you could get at like Spencer's or Hot Topic?
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, he took one of those and like chopped it up and made his own water bong out of it.
dude. We've all
Plastic,
been there. We've all been there,
plastic, bro. Looking back on it, plastic.
dude.
Literally,
I
no
used to
foil, no aluminum. It was
wait.
straight
What you didn't use?
burning plastic. No, dog, we were kids. We
Well,
were dumb. We didn't give a fuck.
I mean, that's still gross, but like, no matter what, if you're using plastic as like a form of using it, you're gonna inhale some part of the chemical that's in the plastic,
Right.
unfortunately.
But so anyway, that was the first sign of things going not great, right? We of course, like dumb kids, spent like $50 on a very small amount. We pooled our money
Dude,
together.
yeah. If you think about it, the amount of weed back then that we used to spend on is well, actually, it's
Criminal.
depending on the person. Like again, that was the thing. Like depending on who you were getting it from, that was
No, I'm
the
talking like $50 for like an eighth.
But I mean that's the same thing though for like the dispensaries now versus these club places because I went into one that's over by your store. I think the one that's over by your store. Either the one or no, it might be the one that's over by Clay.
Oh
Yeah, it's
yeah,
Clay.
there is one by Clay.
Yeah, that one I walked in right, and I just to peruse and see like what the menu is and what the prices were.
Yeah.
And they wanted like $60 for a gram of dabs or something like that, and I literally looked at it and I went nope. And then I went to talk to somebody behind the counter, and I was like, excuse me, I was like, not to be rude, but like, do you guys know that your prices are like way overpriced? Like, it's actually ridiculous. Like, there's a place right close to me that I can get it from. I can get $10 a G for dabs. Like, I don't understand what makes yours so much better, and then why would I spend that much? That's just ridiculous. I don't know if that's just inflation with them and stuff like that, but like they all have to pay the same taxes and shit. It's just the clubs do it a different way where it's more
the
like
way around it's the medical route. That's what I did. No tax.
well,
No
unfortunately,
No tax. No tax.
what did you get it on?
What do you mean? What did I get it on?
Like what was the terms of the reason of why you got it? Like for the doctor.
I said I'm sad and have anxiety, and he went, "Great."
The fuck kind of doctor? What doctor you have? My doctor wouldn't do that.
Shout out NugMD, baby.
Who?
It's a website you go to called NugMD. What it is, it's a quick video call. You pay like $150 for like a 10-minute
Wait,
video
I've
call.
seen those. Wait, that's actually real? I thought that was a scam.
Legit. And what it is they give you what's called a certificate of need. What that is it's something that you submit to the health department. For us, it would be the New York State Health Department. Then they review it and go, sounds good. And then they approve it. And then they mail you your card. Good to go.
Yo, that changes a lot for like places that we can move
Here's
to now.
the thing, dog. I get asked a lot because it's $100 to renew it every year through the same website because you have to renew it every year.
Oh, you have to renew it every year?
Mm-hmm. But the amount
Gotcha,
you
like
save,
Microsoft motherfuckers.
the amount you save in the taxes pays for it immediately. Because I don't get taxed because they treat it like a prescription.
And let me ask you this: is there like card machines?
Yeah, I can pay with a credit card.
Well, what I'm saying is that not like one of the fucking Veritech fucking things or whatever, where it's like touchscreen and they fucking have to go in like at every fucking corner shop they have those, or every smoke shop you see them and stuff like that.
Oh no, like they have like an iPad that they can give you, or you can put in an order online, or you just go there. They take you to the back and they're like, "All right, this is everything that we got. It's a huge selection." And they're like, "Just tell me what you want." They go get it out the back and bring it out to you. You pay for it.
So
what
I'm asking is it the credit card machine that's like at your store or at Staples, or is it like
it's just a card reader, like a little?
So it'll still do the same. Does it do a thing where like they have to round it to the certain thing or whatever, and then they?
No, it's like an actual pin pad, like you would find at like a gas station.
Because the one that I have to use at the thing, like you have, that's why
It's probably like a Square reader or some shit.
No, it's not even that. I forgot what the hell it is. It starts with a V. It's not Veritech. It's like Vera something. But it they have to round up to the nearest like 5 or whatever. That's why I don't use my card. I use cash now because it's so annoying. And because if you use that, not only does it give you like they have to go up to the nearest 5, but they also have to charge you a $3.50 charge for using your card through it. But not only that, but if you use a Cash App card, it adds like an additional $2 charge for using it. So it's like
nothing like that.
It's fucking ridiculous.
This is all legit. It's like going to Walmart and picking up your prescription. It's all fucking kosher.
And there's delivery systems right around here too for that shit.
With the medical dispensary that I go to, they'll deliver to you.
Interesting.
But the thing, like I said, people ask me all the time, "Why? Like you don't need it now? It's legal." And I go, "Yeah, but you're paying tax. Fuck tax. It saves me on the tax."
Speaking of weed dispensaries, I was gonna
Plus,
ask you.
I can physically have more on my person than.
Oh, really? How much more?
I don't know the legalities of it, but
what's your like limit and stuff like that?
I don't even know. I put it like this: I've spent well over $300 at a time. Haven't reached it, so
okay.
It's like a monthly limit that you're allowed to actually purchase.
I get you.
Let me look it up.
It's almost like EBT and shit like that, where like they give you an available credit almost like each month, and then or whatever, and then you can only use that a certain amount, and then if you get up to that, you can't buy anymore.
I can grow up to 6 plants, and I believe recreationally you can grow legally. Trying to see, it doesn't really state, but there is a difference.
That's another thing with medical stuff. Like a lot of shit's like never like really clear about like it's. That's why you have to like talk to like one of the people that's there and stuff like that most of the time to get like
I don't know.
A true answer.
Like there's just different stipulations. To go back to my story about the first time though. So what happened was we ended up smoking a shit ton, and he had like this fucking nail in his ceiling that wasn't fully nailed in. Dude, and I was having like a panic attack. Like I was like, take me to the hospital, my heart's stopping. And I jumped up, forgot about how his ceilings are, whaled my fucking head right on that nail. Fucked up. I had probably the worst first time ever in my life.
That reminds me, have you, before I tell the story, have you ever done something like really like when you look back on it, like when you were like real little, like done something just so stupid where like you're like obviously you were gonna get hurt, but what the hell were you thinking?
So not when I was real little, but back to when I was living in Oneida with my friends. Fucking like 4 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment, dog, just going absolutely buck-ass wild. My buddy Schmalzy had a snowboard that he just had chilling in his room. and our homeboy Scott was on vacation or something, some meeting for work, I think, and he was gone, and me and Cody were just fucking blasting fucking bottles left and right and whatever. And I seen this fucking snowboard, and we had like a little spiral staircase situation to get up to our apartment. Dog, we took that snowboard down the fucking steps, sitting on it. I sat on it, rode the steps down into the wall. Miraculously, dog, I did not blast my ankle, but that would have been so easy to break my fucking ankle. All that snowboard had to do was go in front of it.
I mean, I can believe that because I mean, you were not of sound mind at the time. Like it seemed like a good idea, but you're gonna be like, what the fuck were you thinking? And I'm gonna be like, I don't know, but I can tell you that I don't play golf for a reason. So when I was little, because my siblings were so much older than me, a lot of the times I had to make up games and play by myself and stuff like that. Like when I was
the
super
only
little.
child for most of my life.
So you feel it.
I feel that.
Yeah, so right before our staircase, like the way our staircase went up, it went up like 4 steps and then it went to the right and then it went up the long way or whatever. But right before it was like an open area. And I set up a little like baseball field or whatever. And I was like playing baseball with like invisible like opponents and stuff like that. And then I was like, what's a good idea about bringing this to the next level? Okay, let me grab some golf tees, point them straight up, and put them on the ground. Okay. So I do that, and I pretend to hit the ball, and I'm like, yeah. Start running around the bases, and then I forget where one is, and I step on it, and it goes straight through my foot. And I drop to the ground, and I scream. I barely remember. I remember that happening, and after that, it's like a blur. Like, I blocked it out, but, like, I remember I had to get bandaged and stuff like that. I couldn't walk for a while, and then...
Fuck that. That sounds not...
I've injured myself a lot, but I've never broken anything, which is interesting. Like this thing right here, I don't know if you can see it, but like there's like a little like I don't know, little like indentation like popping out or whatever, but that's from where when I don't even know how young. I was definitely really young, but I was at the park by myself and I was hanging out with these kids and I was trying to show off like a dumb little kid would. And I was on the swings or whatever, and I jumped off. And when I landed, my knee went up and hit my chin. And the way my lip was, I was doing this, and my tooth went straight through my lip. Yeah, so that's what that's from. That I barely remember, too. I blocked out a lot.
Dude, similar story. That same apartment, my buddy Scott's cousin, we'll just call him Goobs. He was in the apartment. And
you say Goobs?
Goobs.
Okay.
He was chilling in there, and him and Scotty started wrestling, right? And some fuck shit happened. I'm not sure what, but his tooth ended up going through like his top lip, and it was just like stuck in there, dude. It was fucking.
I mean, I've had some friends that have had some horrific things or whatever, but like I was never around it when it happened. I only heard about it afterwards. Like the worst one that I heard was my friend Matt snapped his ACL, MCL, and whatever else you can break in there. But like he didn't just like break it; he snapped it, and he did it at Pine Grove when he was playing basketball. And I guess when he landed or whatever, everyone said that it sounded like a fucking gunshot. Like it literally was so loud, and like you remember Kevin Ware back for Louisville, right? When he did that thing to his leg.
You talking about when his bone popped through his leg?
Yeah, it was the exact same thing, dude. Exact same thing. It was just so fucking gross. That he didn't end up playing again, did he?
Not that into basketball. I just remember specifically being at like a fucking Arby's or some shit when I was a kid and seeing it on the fucking news, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Dude, I guess basketball ain't for me. I'm good on that.
I remember that, and then one other one. I remember for Syracuse, Olenek, that Ukrainian that we used to have way back in the day with Johnny Flynn. He almost like broke his neck, like broke his spine or broke his neck on the court during one of the Big East games or whatever. He went to dunk it, and a kid went under him, and he did a flip and almost landed like directly on his head.
Dude, speaking of that. I seen yesterday, fucking during the night. Can't remember if it was yesterday, but fuck. Why am I drawing a fuck? It's been a long day. I'm drawing a fucking blank, but
well, if we need to, you can cut this. I'll mark it.
My lord, it's in here. It's in here. Hold on. Where the fuck? Where the fuck is it? That's it. Get fucked. I don't know. Anyway, one of the Bills players caught a fucking touchdown. I can't remember who the fuck it was right now because of my brain. But, dude, he like rolled backwards into the fucking end zone on top of his head, and you just seen his whole fucking head sideways. I thought dude was gonna be down. No, he hopped right back up. I was like, fuck that. I mean, literally his fucking legs went over his head, dude.
It depends.
Was on his neck.
It depends. Sometimes, as long as you let yourself loose, you really have to land like a certain way to actually injure yourself. As long as like, I mean, yeah, like because the only reason I know that is because back when I played football with like my sister's friends who were like 20 years old at the time, and I was like 10 or 11. They helicoptered me or whatever, and you would have thought like I would have broken something or whatever, but like I felt fine afterwards because like I literally just went limp and was like just flopping around in the air, and then I just landed. But when we gotta get to the next question, right? We got off to a tangent.
Yeah, we did.
So
I think it was Khalil Shakir. Shakir.
Okay. So let me ask you this. This is an interesting one because I'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, it was. It was Khalil Shakir. But anyway, sorry. No,
is that the rookie?
Second.
Okay. But second question for the viewers: which celebrity do you admire the most and why? I'll go first for this one. I'd have to say the celebrity I most admire would probably be, I would say Jim Carrey, to be honest.
Celebrity you most admire.
Because Jim Carrey, for me, did it all, realized that doing it all wasn't shit, and then he said fuck it, basically, to every camera afterwards. And then he's only really reprising his role as Dr. Robotnik because, like, he fucks with, I think because he truly likes making things for kids and stuff like that, because they're more pure than other people and stuff like that. Because I feel like he hates every other peer, like, adult, except for, like, his friend, his mate, his, like, close friends and stuff. At least that's what I get from like every interview. But like I fuck with that type of mentality, especially with his art and stuff and doing the things that he likes now. I'd have to say him. If I think of somebody else, I'll mention it.
For me, it's gotta be man, that's a tough one, but probably Adam Sandler, I'll be honest, dog.
Adam Sandler would probably be another one for me. Dude, pretty close, yeah.
Dude. Find pictures of him in public. He is dressed like a straight fucking bum and he loves every second of it. And I respect the hell out of that. Like, that man's got more money than you could ever fucking imagine, but he don't give a fuck, dude. He's showing up in some basketball shorts and an oversized t-shirt, because fuck you.
And another thing I've noticed about him is that in, like, every interview, he talks the exact same.
Yeah, he's hella
like,
humble.
has the same tone, has the same...
Humble.
Like, it doesn't matter if he's on fucking...
I just seen him on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, that was surprising for him to... I was actually... You want to know what? It was not that surprising. I would have thought that they probably would have already, had him on, but like, I guarantee it's probably not an easy... Well, he's starting to now. That's the thing.
Yeah, now, but...
So, shout out to Adam Sandler. Come on our podcast. Come on. We're from Syracuse. You wear a lot of Syracuse orange shirts. Okay, come on. But, all right. Let me pick out the next question. Let's see.
I sent you the link to that fucking play.
Okay.
You can watch it after this.
Because I didn't wait. Hang on. Let me go back to the co-pilot because I didn't take a picture. Oh, come on.
Wait, did I lose? How the fuck does it still say open but the event's over?
We're gonna cut this too because I'm trying to find the shit. So I'm marking that. All right. So third question: what inspired you? Actually, okay, that's a good one. What inspired you to go into the career path of like tech and like working with your hands and shit like that?
Bad life decisions.
I was hoping for an emotional story about technology and how it melted your heart.
No, I absolutely. Listen, buddy, I love my job now. I don't. That's a stretch. Mark.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't think that's the way you would describe that.
I tolerate my job's okay for what it is. It's okay. But I went to school to be an electrician, dude. And honestly, I probably should have just stuck with that. I would have been.
Wait, was it trade school?
Yeah, I would have been making buku bucks doing that shit.
I mean,
It's not like I don't know how to do it. I do know how to do it. It's just now I'm so deep into this that this is what I do.
I feel that.
Like
So
it's like it's almost to a point where I've just come too far and like things are working out in my favor. For me to give that up, take steps back to
yeah,
reintroduce myself to a new career. Which I mean, ideally, I could make more money doing that, and I maybe sometime in the future in another life, but I still do it on the side, just fucking around. Like if I got a fixture.
and hey, eventually we'll make money off of this, so that's the plan. And
Yeah, we'll
that'll
see.
not we'll see, motherfucker. We are going to. All right, there's no doubt about it.
But
Eventually,
not enough for me to quit my job, dog.
you never know, dude. You never know.
True,
I'm
true,
trying to
true.
lock on some like celebrities and stuff like that. And plus I've been pretty good at getting hosts and stuff like that. I took a back seat for now because we were waiting a little bit and I didn't know who to reach out. Well, I've been reaching out still to a few people and stuff like
We
that here
got
and
some
there.
pretty good. We got some pretty good shit on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, with the people we've already talked about, which shout out for reviewers, there's going to be some guests coming on that are going to have some pretty interesting live stories to tell. So tune in for that. But the next question 4. Well, I didn't answer it. Dude, what the fuck am I doing? I'm high. Right.
Hi.
For me,
I'm tired.
the reason I got into sales, that's a good question, actually. The reason I got into sales, I would probably say the major reason is that I didn't want to do a job where like I didn't earn more than I didn't earn based off of like what the amount of work I did and shit like that. So when it came to like when I was a crew member at McDonald's for my first job and stuff like that, or working at Marshalls as an associate and shit, you only got this certain amount hourly and stuff like that. And like, granted, you don't have to do that. Well, McDonald's, no, you have to do a shit ton, and it's not worth it. But for sales, it was more of like, especially with I never did like a only commissions job because I don't know, I just never.
It's sketchy.
My anxiety would take over for that, so I just decided to stay away from that. So I did things where I made a certain amount an hourly, plus I could make more of whatever I did, especially if I did more than the other person. And that's really the only reason, money. I think that's that, and also I ended up being good at it. So, which surprisingly, I'm not that good at a lot of things. I mean, I was sort of okay at basketball, but fucking we had Olympic athletes at West Jenny, so I never got a chance to actually be on the teams. But, fuck West Jenny. Anyway, on to the next question. We'll do one more question. Let's see. If you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, what would they be and why? Or who would they be and why?
Let me see. Damn. I had to think about that. Probably that's fucking. That's
I mean,
tough,
and
man.
remember, they could be dead or alive, so. How about this?
If you got 3, go while I think.
I can try and start. For me, dead or alive,
It's tough, isn't it?
it is a tough
like,
one.
It's not a fucking easy
Because
one.
I'm trying to think of people that are dead that I might want to, like.
I'm in
Okay,
that same boat.
You want to know what? Chris Farley would be one.
That's good.
I would say, did Woody Harrelson die already?
No.
Because I know he was like going down that road or whatever, right? Wasn't
I
he
don't
sick
think
or something?
so.
Or am I thinking of somebody else? I might be thinking of somebody else.
Buddy, he's only 63. He's
No, I mean like he has like a disease or something. Like it's got to be somebody else, maybe.
other ventures, filmography. Let's pull that up. Hang on just a second here. Let's get this on the phone.
Let's just see. Woody Harrelson.
I got it up here. Let's just take the phone.
Look at Pete.
Okay, well, it's gonna tell you on here though. Early life education. I'm not seeing nothing though.
I'm just gonna say dead. No, he's still living.
Personal life.
Okay. All right. Well, then if he's not dead, I'm not gonna choose him. So I thought he was dead. So let's go alive then. Alive, I would say Adam Devine from Workaholics would be one.
Okay.
And then it's probably the third one, and this would be a weird dinner. It would be Eminem.
Eminem's not dead.
I know. I didn't say he was dead. It said dead or alive.
Okay, all right. I forgot. I forgot the premise of the question. I was focused on dead.
Cross your arms, motherfucker. We don't want him We don't want to curse that motherfucker. We don't want him dead.
You see, James Earl Jones died?
Damn, that was my next thing I was gonna go up to. That was the thing I was about Star Wars I was gonna tell you. I just found that out like
See,
moments
that's
before
what
hopping on.
I told you before we
Dude,
started.
it's
You're
so
like, did you hear
it's
it?
so
And I'm
sad.
like, I wouldn't consider that it's Star Wars news, but like it's more so just
Motherfucker
general.
was Darth Vader. What are you talking about?
Actually, he was only the voice. Technically,
Well, yeah,
David Prowse
but,
was the body.
Have you ever seen that behind the scenes of that film, like the films being made and
There
the
was
actual
hella
actors,
animosity.
like the actual actors speaking and shit, dude, it was hilarious.
Yeah, they just literally taped over the voice with fucking James Earl Jones, which, by the way, right choice. But I told you before this, I was like, I probably have heard it, but I probably just don't know what you're talking about right this second. And then as soon as we start talking,
let's stay on topic. 3 dead or alive. What's your deadies? What's your liveys? I was gonna pick him too, but like,
all right, so this is my dream dinner. I'll give it to you right. Ryan Reynolds for comedic effect. All right.
okay,
And then give me Mac Miller.
okay.
And give me.
I forgot about him. I'm gonna change mine because you just made me think of something. So I'm changing mine.
Imagine that dinner, dog.
Mine would be Chris Farley, Mac Miller, and Gordon Ramsay, and he'd be cooking our meals. That's how it would be.
I see. Okay, I see what you're doing with that. You get him chefing up.
I was just thinking of like actors and shit like that and comedians, but I wasn't thinking of like broad horizon. Like, and I would give. Not to say anything about Barack. I love you, Barack, but like I could give a fuck if I met you, to be honest.
Yeah,
not a big deal on me. But yeah. But that, I mean, that's a good one.
Speaking of which, real quick, just because I brought up Theo Von and you brought up Barack, did you see that Theo interviewed Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders?
Well, yeah, I saw that. And then
good episodes, dog. I was not expecting a fucking Theo D Trump collab.
You want to know what? I'm not trying to be negative, but those 2 interviews in my case kind of not hurt, but like it depleted like the way people saw his personality, or like whether or not like he was playing or not playing, because now we kind of know that he can be serious and actually do this stuff. So I mean, and especially I don't know if you've seen it. Have you watched the movie that he was in recently with Johnny Knoxville?
You?
Yeah, Sweet Dreams.
No, I haven't seen it.
You'll like his character in it. He's pretty fucking funny. But yeah, like he there's some serious moments in there and stuff like that, and like you can tell that like now a majority of like the shit where like, you know, where he talks about like the snail, like I pick up a snail and walk him 3 or 4 feet, you know, save him a week or so or a month to travel, like that stuff. It's all for like, you know, laughs and all views and stuff like that, because a lot of the question was always for everybody, especially like people that knew him. Everybody would ask them like, do you know, like, is Theo Von like joking most of the time? Like, do you know whether or not when he's joking or not? And like they'll all say the same thing, I don't. But I feel like those recently kind of put it into perspective where now you might be able to tell, which I don't know. Like, and to be fair, Theo Von has kind of not been as vibrant in the news and stuff like that, or like in media and stuff. I don't know.
I don't think he's ever been a front. He's not a front page comedian, but and I don't say that in a bad way. I say that in a he flies under the radar, but is insanely popular.
You want to know what it is? It's like the same thing with like
his fan base.
Yeah, it's a cult following. Same thing like with like
Personally, I love Theo Von, dog. I do too. Every show in New York. I think that those 2 interviews were actually very well done. He said some outrageous.
I'm not saying they're not
outrageous shit to a former president. Nobody else on planet Earth would have the balls to say some of the shit that he said to a former president. And it wasn't even negative shit. It was just absolutely outlandish fucking shit that I would never expect somebody to say dead seriousness to a fucking president.
You know who I would love to see interview those presidents would be, well, Bernie Sanders wasn't a president, but it would be that, you know, that one viral dude who does like the videos where like he'll always ask like a question that's like double-ended or whatever, and he's got the long hair with the mustache. Yeah, that dude would be hilarious if he did one with that, or even a shout out to Eric Andre and the Eric Andre show, but Eric Andre is a genius for coming out with that show and having that premise of having just the worst talk show imaginable and not letting the people that you have on the show know about it. unless they've watched it before, which is hilarious. Because then you get honest reactions of just insane shit.
Yeah, okay, so this is the quote that I was trying to get at. I just found it. So they were talking about Theo Von's cocaine, like him and Donald Trump are talking about Theo Von's cocaine addiction, right?
Okay.
Like his former cocaine addiction. And
Right.
Trump asked, "Is cocaine a stronger up?" And Theo Von responded, "Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie." He
Let me
said,
guess.
"You know what I'm saying?"
Donald Trump
You'll
even
be
laugh?
out. He said, "Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying? You'll be out on your own porch. You'll be your own street lamp." He did kind of laugh, but you could tell that like it was more of like just like a smirk. He was being definitely like nonchalant. Like, he's got to be careful. You got to think about that, like because somebody could twist shit real easy to say that
we're
he's
talking
endorsing.
about Donald Trump here, right? Careful is not in his fucking vocabulary.
No, but I mean from a
grabs women by the
political
pussy. Remember?
true, but also from a political standpoint, like right now. He's got to be careful because that could easily be turned around saying that he was endorsing. Like,
Bro, I mean, I don't know. You really got to go back and listen to like his 2015 presidential like campaign and stuff like that. And
he's definitely unfiltered.
He's almost said a lot of things that like are just almost like comedian worthy. Like where like I'm not gonna lie, he's a pretty funny guy when it comes to certain things, and like also dishing out like jabs at Hillary and shit like that. He's pretty good at it.
But to look a president dead square in his eyes and call him homie, I couldn't stop laughing, dog. Like I would not ever be able to.
Well, Theo Von's one of those people where I don't think he'd ever get to the point where like he'd be so nervous where he wouldn't talk like that. That's
no, I mean, but you could definitely tell that it was like a different level of
Speaking of the presidents and presidential, because that election will be coming up soon and stuff like that. It's sad. It's the first time in a while where like I don't really want either to be president. I'm just kind of hoping that like I don't know, like something else happens or something, or I don't know.
The fuck else?
Because Kamala, I'm sorry. Like at first I was like rooting for her, but like
I don't trust her as far as I could throw her.
No, I don't trust her either. To be honest, I think she's another Hillary.
I don't know about that, but she definitely switches her personality and how she interacts with people based on different.
She procreates other people's like lifestyle and like vernacular and stuff like that, and doing all that shit.
That's what I mean. Whereas like at least with like, and I'm not saying I support one or the other at the moment, but I'm just saying that like at least Donald Trump's been pretty solid all the way through. Like he's got the same fucking personality.
Okay, well, my whole thing with that is that you just didn't see the effects until the next president was in, and then everybody blamed the next president for what was happening. But in reality, it was the things that were caused. It was domino effect of what started in the presidency before them. In my opinion,
I'm just talking about personality, though. Like,
personality, yeah.
At least his personality has remained like he's the same individual, no matter who he's talking to.
Yeah, but he's one of those characters where it's like it's almost like he's a television character that somebody wrote, though. Like that's the thing. Like he doesn't almost seem real the way he talks sometimes and stuff.
I don't know. I'm definitely in the middle. The problem is I'm definitely like independent for sure. Like I agree with ideas on both sides. I agree with things from both sides. So I really align myself with neither, but I agree with both in a weird way.
Okay.
Because there's things from
the thing. There's good things on both sides.
That's what I mean. There's things from the right that I agree with and love, but there's things from the left that I agree with and love, and there's things vice versa that I hate on both. So it's like, unfortunately, there's no candidate where I can really just pick and choose what I want from both sides and get the best of both worlds. So I'm better off just sitting on my couch.
Actually, interestingly, it's not on that show, but the show Black Mirror from Netflix?
I've heard of it, but I never watched it.
Like, do you know the concept of how like every episode is different? It's like different futuristic, post-apocalyptic worlds, stuff like that.
I don't know too much about it. I'll be honest. Like I said, I've heard the name, but I've never.
Well, anyway, there's one called. It's not the show, but there's a different show on Prime Video. It's a Prime Video original that I found through like a TikTok, but it's called Electric Dreams, and basically every episode is different. Terrence Howard's in one of the episodes. But one of the episodes actually goes into like the thought of like, what if we lived in a world where there was only one presidential candidate and like you could vote for? There was only one. And
What's
like
the point of fucking voting?
it goes about that, and then like the lady is like in the beginning of the episode is like at a debate or whatever, and like in the middle of the debate, like says randomly, "We need to kill all others." Like looks directly at the camera, is like, "We need to kill all others," and then like completely like goes back to what she's saying, and only like one person like catches it, and he starts to go insane about it, and then they end up like turning it on him and stuff like that, and then the whole point of the whole thing was like they wanted to basically take out or peer out the people that were so easily manipulated by something as trivial as a random thing said in the middle of like something like that, and like basically get them out of society, which was like a weird thing, but it was very weird. Oh, I'm sorry, people.
I just want to point out that I did lose my bet, and I'm very upset about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, let me check my fantasy right now.
Right, I literally just got the notification that the game was over and it processed, and I was like, "Fuck!" Luckily, it was no sweat though, so still in my bonus bet. I'm not too upset about it.
So I lost. Yep, I lost. I lost by 10 points, motherfucker.
Bad night, brother. In 2 years, though, I'm only down $30, not including my winnings from the Bills game.
Metcalf and Kincaid fucked me. That and the Ravens defense did not do good the first week.
Dude, have you read much about the Bills rookie Keon Coleman?
No, I haven't.
I like what I see so far. I mean, it's only week 1, but he seems solid. We'll see what happens with the rest of the season. I don't know if we're winning the division this year, but we'll see. We're lucky if we make the playoffs. We have a tough schedule, but
yeah, the Colts did not do good their first game. And
anyway,
it is what it is. We'll see. The Texans have always been a tricky one for us, to be honest.
Motherfucker, they have Stephon Diggs, who now has decided that he's going to play good. Now that he's off the Bills, he decided, oh, maybe I'll catch a fucking ball.
He didn't play terrible from the Bills. I mean, like, he didn't. I mean, he wasn't his normal self, I will say that.
Did you watch the past 2 seasons?
I did.
Couldn't hold on to a single ball.
I got beat multiple times from Stephon Diggs' stats and his number of points in fantasy. That's why I'm saying, like, there's plenty of games where he had over. I mean, there was multiple games where he had over 100 receiving yards. I mean, he didn't do terrible.
Well, yeah, he was our number 1 receiver. He's gonna get yards, but ultimately, he was like the number 2 receiver in the NFL. Where the fuck was he on the team? Nowhere to be found, dude.
Okay, I gotcha.
As far as the impact that he should have made on the Bills, not there. Hot take, call it what you want.
I wanted to move on to the next thing, which is I wanted to go science route. I actually found something, because you know how before I talked about how the Mayo with the nuclear fusion,
Probably.
I can't see it right. Back when when we had famous Rico on, we were talking about the Mayo. Anyway, recently,
I remember talking about French fries and Wendy's.
Okay, well, scientists found out like a month or a few weeks ago or whatever that Mayo has like the ability to possibly have the secret to like nuclear fusion in it, because when it's heated up, it acts the same as plasma or some shit. But it was like, what the fuck? And so I guess after that, my phone ended up sending me news alerts for like weird food shit. But I got this, right? And ingredients found in Doritos turns mouse's skin transparent.
Yes, I did read that.
You did see that, dude? I did.
I was literally sitting at work and I was like, what the fuck?
I was like, this is the shit we consume, dude.
Oh, yeah. Daily.
It's just being able to fucking turn goddamn rodents invisible. I'm like, this is what taxpayer money is working on.
But the FDA has your back. They will protect you. Make sure that nothing bad gets in your fucking food.
Yeah, bullshit. And even like, I was also gonna bring up like back to school and stuff like that, since my kids went back to school, but like school food and stuff, and how school food has gotten like
better.
I wouldn't say better. Well, I would.
Okay. Healthier than at least what I was fucking.
Yeah, healthier. But like, for instance, the kids now have mad options. Like, I went into my old elementary, which my kids go to now, and their cafeteria has not only snacks like chips, cookies, granola bars, whatever. They also have, different juices and stuff like that.
No, they have
And
options.
I was like, where the fuck was that when I was younger? If I didn't like what we had, there was only PB&J. And you know what it was?
We
It was
always
wet.
had it.
It was wet.
Ooh.
It was always wet. It was always moist.
I will say, dude.
Like it wasn't, and that was gross.
At least when I was in high school, we had pretty decent options, man. Like, so you had your choice of a hot lunch, whether it be like Mexican pizza or whatever the fuck they cook up, right?
Right, main
If you
dish.
if you didn't like that, they had chicken patties, spicy or regular, as like a backup that they had all the time.
Yeah.
And then they had like you could get like a cold lunch like PB&J, but it was the Uncrustables. They would give you one of them.
Did you guys have the subs too, or no?
No, we didn't have subs, but they would give you like an Uncrustable or like some shit like that.
So we had subs. Like we had two lines. There was a sub line, and then there was like the regular lunch line or whatever. And like if you didn't want regular lunch, you could go to the sub line. Either that, or like if you wanted a salad, you could go on that line or whatever.
Who the fuck's going to school on? I mean, I guess
the girls,
vegetarians and stuff like that. I should say that. I forget. Oh, that was weird.
But yeah, they had like they didn't have many options. I mean, they had like an Italian sub, a ham sub, or like a turkey sub or whatever. But I always got the Italian, and then I put honey mustard on it. So they made it like Subway, like in front of you.
No, fuck no, we didn't have that. They were definitely pre-wrapped, but I think they did have some.
So we had that. That was like the first. That was like when I got to high school. That was the first time like lunch wasn't as like bad and stuff, but. Elementary school and stuff like that was like either like the days that I got food was chicken tender days, pizza days, and
I remember Mexican pizza, but that's about it.
But then there was the time where I went to a different school for a year in Skaneateles. So I went to school at Skaneateles district, and their food was all fresh made, like every day from like and stuff like that. But their food was terrible.
Oh.
Yeah, like that was the letdown. It was terrible. I tried it once and I was like, this is ass. Like the chicken tenders were terrible, and I was like,
man, I just don't remember.
And I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to stop using that word. I haven't been using it pretty much all this fucking.
What word?
The word like. So apparently, yeah, I realized after a while that I do say that a lot, and I'm trying to stop.
When we were gonna go through the next podcast, I was gonna before that comment was made, I was gonna say something. But I was like, nah, you know what? It's fine.
No, definitely say something. If I'm saying something repeatedly, definitely let me know, because I'd rather not hear from pissed off fucking strangers, little assholes.
Dude, I love it.
I love you guys though.
It fuels me. I love that shit, dude.
But yeah, fucking school back. I mean. Another thing too is I remember. Do you remember when you had to do chorus back in elementary school?
No, we had like sing-song class or whatever the fuck, where we would.
So you guys didn't have chorus?
It wasn't like a full-blown chorus. Like they had a chorus as an optional class in middle school and high school, but in elementary we just had like music class. So we like played the recorder and shit.
Music class and chorus. And I remember my friend Matt was like a revolutionary like icon. He just straight up was like, no, I'm not singing. That's not happening. Because the teacher and like was like, all right, whatever. They ended up like making like a small group of like people that didn't want to sing. It ended up being him, my other friend Scott, which if you knew them, you'd be like, I understand why. And yeah, they were like, fuck that shit. And I remember I didn't realize after I was like, so we had a fucking choice. It's like, I'm stuck here now. This is some bullshit. Like they get to just chill in the classroom and fuck around, and I get to just fucking sing stupid songs about Santa Claus coming through the goddamn roof.
I do remember like we definitely had to like, even though we just had a basic music class, we still had to do like concerts and shit. But dude, I remember like during concerts, and I don't know if it was just like a my school thing or like it was a thing across the board, but I remember as soon as we would be on stage, like I wouldn't sing for shit. I would just stand there fucking didn't give a fuck. But kids, as soon as the lights would get on, they'd start getting sick. Dude, as soon as like the hot ass lights were on and everything. That's something I remember vividly. Kids would just start getting sick and fucking whatnot.
Well, I mean, that reminds me. I faked being sick for 3 weeks.
To get out of what?
So, let's backtrack. My sisters and not to go too much into detail, but they had trouble in school and stuff like that. They ended up graduating like the normal way or whatever, and they ended up like missing a lot of like school and stuff like that because they just didn't want to go. Anyway, that thought like got into my head where like I started to have like an anxiety thing where like I didn't want to go to school and I didn't want to do work and stuff like that. It was also around the time where I was really heavily wanting to be an actor and stuff like that. And I was like every day when I wasn't at school was like on my computer and like searching like acting things and stuff like that and trying to figure out a way to make it bigger or whatever. I mean, until those not dreams got crushed, but I stopped for a while after a certain situation occurred later on. But yeah, so I ended up doing that, and I'm losing my train of thought. What was I saying? Jesus Christ!
Something about being an actor.
Right. Anyway, I'll tell you about the fucking. Actually, I'll just tell you about the thing. I was in middle school. I was like seventh grade or whatever, and me and my mom were driving, and we heard on the radio that they were having some kind of like acting modeling search thing or whatever, right? And they were having it at a Holiday Inn, and my mom was like, "All right, let's sign you up for it." Because she know how much I want. Because I would bug her all the fucking time about this, like a lot. Like if you asked her, she'll tell you. And we went there, brought the photos that they needed, all the shit and stuff like that. And basically what you had to do is they were like, who's doing modeling, who's doing acting, who's doing singing, and like separate us and stuff like that. And then they had each people go or whatever, and actors were last. And basically what they had us do is they had 3 cards in front of us, and they were like, choose one of the commercials to recite and act out. And I go, okay. And so I chose, I think it was something about peanut butter and like creamy or richness of it or something like that. I did it. They liked what they heard or whatever, and like based off of what they said. And I ended up leaving or whatever. And I remember specifically it was right around like a Syracuse football game because the next day or the next day after that day, we went to the Syracuse football game. And all I could think about was like getting a call back and stuff like that, and just like hearing back from them. And then we found out that we got a message when we were at the game, and my mom listened to it, and they were like, "Oh, we want to work with you. Please call us." So my mom called them or whatever and started talking to them, and then that's where it came in, where they were like, "Yeah, he's gonna go on this like cruise line like star search thing, where like he's gonna go on this cruise, meet with like producers and like other actors alike and stuff like that." And do like workshops, but you need to pay this and this and this up front or whatever. And my mom at first was like thinking about it or whatever. And then like she talked to my dad, she was like, she was like, no, that doesn't seem right or whatever. That seems kind of like a scam. And so we just ended up going through it. And I was like, if that's the only thing that's going to come around here and stuff like that for being able to act, and it's just going to be scams and shit, there's no way I'll be able to get into it unless I get into like acting school and stuff like that. And that's when I lost that, like, I just didn't think about acting for a long time, and I forgot about that when I was in school, which I kind of wish I did go to school for acting now, but you know, what I coulda, shoulda. So
I feel you on that one, brother.
yeah, I feel like everybody in this world has at least one thing that they wish. Well, you want to know what? Elon Musk, I don't think.
Well, when you
I
have
think he's done everything.
when you have literally infinite money,
And that's, well, you want to know what is an infinite, because isn't a majority of like his thing just in his companies and stuff like that? That's another thing. It's like I never understand truly what that dude has like as like an actual bank account number.
I mean, you'll never know an exact number, but put it like this: the dude never has to worry about anything for any of his life ever.
Actually, an interesting thing would be,
I mean, you could look up his net worth, but his net
how
worth
much does Elon Musk make a second?
His net worth.
He makes $656 per second. Fuck me sideways.
I mean,
are you kidding me, dude? That's almost my entire paycheck for the week.
that's what I'm saying, dude. I get paid just about the
And for the second, he just got paid. He just got paid again.
We've been doing this podcast for an hour and 13 minutes. Figure out how much money he made with the time that we've been doing this.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I definitely can't do that shit in my head. All right, let's do this. 65 times. Wait, hang on a second. I need to do 60 seconds times, what's 100, an hour and 13, 73. times 656. He has made 1.8 billion dollars
an hour. Second, yeah. Literally.
That just made me depressed.
Yeah. It's fucking bedtime
Bro,
now,
you
dog.
fucking
It's
kidding
fucking
me?
over with.
Oh my god, dude. I can't even believe that shit.
More money than you could ever even imagine in literally the same amount of time that it took us to do this little.
I can't believe that shit. Yeah, let's leave that with tonight. Let's leave that with our guests for the tonight, because that just threw me for a loop, man. All right, guys, motherfucker just made $1.8 billion. What we're doing with this shit? This is just crazy.
And you get to get up and go to work tomorrow.
Nope, I have tomorrow off, but it still doesn't make me feel any better. But all right, guys. Remember to follow and subscribe on YouTube. Also, follow and like our page on Facebook, and follow and like our page on Twitter as well. We have plenty of shorts and clips on YouTube and our TikTok and stuff like that. And Facebook, I'm going to be adding more shorts come soon. There's still some on there, but we're going to have some more clips to add soon and stuff like that. So keep tuned.
And we got big guests on the way.
We do. Mark's been in touch with some people, and so we'll be announcing those pretty soon. So keep tuned for that. But from us here to you, have a good night, and peace.